One is a billionaire businessman turned president. The other, a career economist guarding America's money. And now, the battle between them is back. Trump versus Powell, Round 2. Welcome back to World Flow Finance. Today, we're diving deep into the rising tension between former President Donald Trump and Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell. With Trump leading the 2024 polls and Powell still in charge at the Fed, the conflict we saw during Trump's first term is now re-emerging, louder, sharper. To understand what's happening now, we have to rewind the clock. When Jerome Powell was nominated by Trump in 2017, most thought the two would work hand in hand. After all, Trump picked him. But things quickly soured. Throughout 2018 and 2019, Trump relentlessly attacked Powell on Twitter and in speeches. Why? Because the Fed raised interest rates, even as Trump was launching a trade war with China. Higher rates meant more expensive borrowing, slower growth, and a stronger dollar, none of which helped Trump's goal of boosting exports or winning re-election. In response, Powell tried to maintain the Fed's independence. He cut rates in 2019 as global growth slowed, but insisted the Fed wouldn't be pressured by politics. The 2024 comeback and rising tensions. Now, Trump is back on the political stage, and so is his criticism of Powell. In campaign rallies, interviews, and policy briefings, Trump has made one thing clear: he wants interest rates lower. Much lower. In Trump's view, high interest rates are sabotaging growth and harming everyday Americans. From credit cards to mortgages, Americans are paying the price. And who does Trump blame? Jerome Powell. Meanwhile, Powell has maintained a cautious approach. After battling post-pandemic inflation with aggressive rate hikes, he's signaling patience, even as Trump pushes for deep cuts. The difference in vision couldn't be clearer. Powell sees inflation risks. Trump sees political opportunity. Can Trump fire Powell? Here's the big question: can Trump actually fire Jerome Powell if he wins in November? But Trump isn't known for following tradition. During his first term, he reportedly asked White House lawyers if he could remove Powell. The legal consensus? It would be unprecedented, and likely unconstitutional. But that may not stop Trump from trying. He could also try to pressure Powell into resigning, or sideline him by appointing extreme loyalists to the Fed board. Either way, it would shatter the tradition of an independent central bank. The real-world impact. So, what does this mean for the real world? For you, me, and the global economy? Let's break it down. A. Interest rates and loans. If Trump pressures the Fed to cut rates dramatically, it could temporarily boost markets and reduce loan costs. But too much cutting could reignite inflation, forcing future hikes and instability. B. Inflation risks. Wall Street still remembers the 1970s. Political interference led to runaway inflation and a collapsed dollar. Many fear Trump's pressure would break confidence in long-term inflation control. C. Market volatility. Investors value certainty. A politicized Fed could spook markets, crash bonds, and raise global borrowing costs. Pushpin D. Dollar and global trade. A weaker dollar might help exports, but hurt global investors and push capital out of U.S. assets. Wall Street, economists and politicians react. So, how are the powerful reacting to this looming conflict? Let's start with Wall Street. Big bank opinions. Goldman Sachs warns of major risks to credibility if Trump intervenes in Fed policy. J.P. Morgan sees potential for bond market shock if Powell is removed. Morgan Stanley advises clients to brace for 2025 rate volatility. Under political pressure. Many hedge funds and institutional investors are already pricing in Trump risk for 2025 and 2026. Republicans, divided, some support Trump's economic views, others fear the loss of Fed neutrality. Democrats call it a direct threat to economic stability and institutional trust. Trump's plan for the Federal, if Trump returns, He's expected to push a new economic plan focused on, white heavy checkmark lower interest rates. White heavy checkmark a more compliant Fed board. White heavy checkmark possible weakening of the Fed's regulatory power. White heavy checkmark a return to easy money policies to boost growth pre-2028. Think of it as, America First Economics 2.0, aggressive, fast-moving, and unconcerned with old norms. Could this reshape the global economy? The Trump-Powell clash isn't just a U.S. story, it's a global one. The Fed's policies affect everything from emerging markets to the euro, from oil prices to gold. Potential global impacts: countries with dollar-denominated debt could face turmoil. Gold may spike as a hedge. Global central banks could distance themselves from U.S. monetary coordination. China and BRICS may accelerate de-dollarization efforts. The outcome of this battle may determine not just America's economy, but the future of the global financial system. In the end, the showdown between Trump and Powell is more than political drama, it's a fight over the future of money, power, and economic freedom. Will the Fed remain independent? Or will Trump reshape it in his image? What do you think? Should the president have more control over the Fed, or should it stay independent from politics? Comment below, we'd love to hear your thoughts. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share if you want more deep dives like this. Turn on notifications to stay updated as the 2024 to 2025 financial drama unfolds. This is World Flow Finance, where money meets geopolitics.